Hello and welcome back. This is Lance Dixon with Curriculum and Training Systems, here to share with you a little more information regarding foundational principles of learning. Now, last week we talked about Edward Thorndike's last two laws of learning, the law of exercise and the law of freedom. The law of exercise is based on the old maxim of practice makes perfect, but the key is it got to be meaningful practice. It's got to be perfect practice. So let's kind of change that to perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice something incorrectly, you will get it perfectly wrong. So you make sure the procedures are correct as you're practicing it. Make sure the information that you're committing to your knowledge is accurate. Practice makes perfect, the law of exercise. The last law was the law of freedom. And the law of freedom basically states that students who have the freedom to learn actually retain information better. Now, when I say the freedom to learn, what we're talking about is in a, let's say, classroom environment. You provide information, but you allow them to explore their creative ability, giving them freedom to engage in conversation, freedom to explore, concepts, allowing them to take the information and expanding upon them, giving them the freedom to do certain things. In that type of environment, the students will learn and will retain the information much better. So that was Thorndike's law of exercise and Thorndike's law of freedom. Now, for this week, since we've been starting this broadcast, we've been talking a lot about foundational principles of learning. Now, there are so many theories out there that the question may arise, what are you talking about? What are foundational principles of learning? Now, over the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about Edward Thorndike's laws of learning. And you can be mistaken and think that the laws of learning are the foundational principles, which is not quite accurate, because the laws of learning and Edward Thorndike's theories is only one aspect of foundational principles. So, what am I talking about when I say foundational principles of learning? Well, what I'm speaking of is I'm speaking of learning principles that basically came about from the work of 6 individuals. Edward Thorndike, we talked about his laws of learning. Another one of the individuals is John Dewey. John Dewey was very influential in the early 1900s in the educational arena. His work dealing a lot with how experience affects individuals and how we learn from that. And we'll talk a lot about John Dewey's work as we move along. Another person is Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow is known for his Maslow's hierarchy of needs, talking about the level of needs and how they affect us as individuals as we grow. So Abraham Maslow is another one. Okay. Robert Mager. Robert Mager is known as the father of objectives. He has developed objectives that are measurable. He talks about the 3 components of an objective: behavior, condition, and standard. Robert Mager, another one. Benjamin Bloom. Benjamin Bloom, his work is Bloom's taxonomy, which is basically categories of learning and how at the lower categories we get certain things and develop, and then we move up to a higher categories of learning. So it's Benjamin Bloom taxonomy. And then there's David Kolb, who talks about learning styles. He talks about 4 distinct different learning styles and how engaging more than just one learning style increases your level of attention. Now, these individuals, to me, I call them the founding fathers of learning. But when I speak about foundational principles, I'm speaking about theories and studies based on the work of those 6 individuals. Edward Thorndike, Abraham Maslow, John Dewey, Benjamin Bloom, Robert Mager, and David Kolb. So, as we move along, we're going to be talking a lot more about foundational principles of learning, but at least now you have a general idea of where these principles are coming from and what the information is based on. Well, that's it for this week. My name is Lance Dixon with Curriculum and Training Systems. If anything we said has been helpful in any way, please subscribe to our channel. Also, you will see links at the bottom of the page for different services that we offer at Curriculum and Training System, classes we offer, and some of the products that we offer as well. Thank you again, and we'll see you next week.